Patrick, you're sitting behind the table here for like maybe the fourth or the fifth time. Being here for the half marathons, being in the city race last month, and the last thing I saw from you from the city race was hands up in the air and a big smile, and I think a big relief, because after his debut, Patrick became injured, had a tough second part of the year last year, went back into training, had a test run in the city race to see if he was ready to come to Rotterdam, and look what he did. He won the race, and he won the race like a king. How did you go back to Kenya, and what kind of confidence gave that race to you?
First of all, I thank my Lord for me to be back here, and back in Rotterdam Marathon, not to do my debut, but to do what I have experienced from last year.
What was your experience? What was your experience last year? Because as I asked Bernard as well, making a debut in such a fast race, you've been in the leading group until 33 kilometers, and then I felt you decided to let the leaders go. Was it because of the fact that you want to make sure that you finished in a proper time, or didn't you want to blow yourself up?
Of course, it was not easy for me to do my debut in the hardest course. Not the hardest course, but a flat course like Rotterdam, because of course the history of Rotterdam Marathon, always it is always faster. Most of the big guys in Kenya who have been successful in marathon have been doing marathon, and of course what they usually say a marathon in Rotterdam, it is so fast, and it is not easy for somebody to do the debut very fast, because most of the times after 30 kilometers it becomes so fast, and the more you go, the race becomes so fast, and it is hard for somebody to do the debut. So I thank my Lord. I did my debut last year, and by now I have enough experience to do the full day.
Okay, and if I then look to what I spoke to your manager last year, he told me that you had a really good idea of how you want to do your marathon career. He told me, okay, Patrick wants to make his debut, wants to make sure that he runs fine. In his second marathon, he wants to do a championship race like you did in New York. He wants to gain experience with that, and in his third or fourth marathon, he really wants to go fast. You've been injured before, last year. One thing is sure for you, I guess, compared to all the other guys, you're definitely not overtrained. You're probably the most fittest athlete here behind the table, because you're not able to do such a lot of training in the winter, and you're in a good shape now. How is your way of thinking about your build-up to these marathons?
Of course, what is expected to be a good marathon. Of course, I have done in Kenya. Like immediately I finished my city half marathon, I went back to Kenya. I did what was expected, like long run, speed work, everything I have done.
So you couldn't do any more than being as prepared as you are now for the marathon for Sunday?
Yeah, I am prepared for the Rotterdam Marathon.
Okay. Well, as I said to another Dutch athlete, you were more relaxed behind the table than you were last year, because I was very excited for your first marathon. I wish you a lot of success for coming Sunday, and try to be longer in the lead group than you did last year, and make it successful. Thank you.